Hello and welcome to your reading. This is the Awakened Jenn. So welcome in everyone to your daily divine forecast for April 1st, 2025, which is April Fool's Day on the Spiritual View. If you are new to this channel, welcome. The Spiritual View is a collective of spiritually gifted women who use a range of modalities to bring messages of guidance for the collective. We have a thriving community here, and we invite you to be a part of everything that we have going on. So we offer daily videos. And right now we're moving to just one weekly live session, which is being moved to Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you've been with us for a while, you know that we've been doing Mondays and Fridays. We are moving now to Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern for our lives, and just down to one live a week. But that's going to give us the chance to bring in some extra specialty content that we'll be able to start rotating in as well. So that's what we're going to be doing for the month of April. And be sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss a thing. All right. So speaking of subscribers, I do want to celebrate that we just hit our 1,000 subscriber mark after just over a year of the channel. And so we want to thank everyone so much that has helped to make this possible. Like, this has been a co-creation of not just, what we've been doing here on the channel, but even the viewers that have been supporting us all throughout this and helping to create this amazing space. And so it's just truly an honor to be able to grow this with all of you, and just see how this community continues to expand and evolve. And so I thank you. This is our celebration, but it's also your celebration as well for helping us get to this place. So I'm glad that you're here today. Today is April Fool's, and Spirit is already playing with us. So this energy is layered and surprising. Let's stay grounded into the truth and into our intuition. So we're working with angel numbers today, 217 and 422. And so 217 says you're exactly where you need to be. Trust your inner voice and divine timing. And 422, everything is aligned. Keep building your foundation through faith, honesty, and love. And yet, with the energy of April Fools swirling around, Spirit is still whispering something. Don't be fooled. Something is not as it seems. So let's dig in and let's see where this message takes us. So what's fooling us today? What's really going on underneath the surface? So before we get started, I want us to take 3 deep breaths together and do the invocation to call on the spirit team. So if you'll close your eyes and breathe in. That's 1. Breathe in. That's 2. Breathe in. That's 3. I now call in my angels, archangels, ascended masters, our higher selves, and guardian angels to please enter this present space and time. I call upon Archangel Michael to place a bubble of protection around us. Only beings of the highest vibration of pure love and light may enter in. So be it. All right, so let's get started with the message. So let me see if I can get my notes up here. Okay, so our overall energy today is actually not for you. And so, like, just going with that April Fool's energy, my first impression on this was that something was not quite as it seems. And so, like, that not for you, something that felt like a complete rejection wasn't necessarily rejection. It wasn't necessarily a complete all out, no, this is not for you, or there's something there that's still missing with that. So it's something that you wanted, something that you thought was not going to be possible. And it just didn't land the way, it just didn't land the way that you thought it was. So I just feel like there's something deeper here that we're supposed to be looking at. And so even if, like, the thing that you wanted to happen, even if it didn't happen the way that you wanted it to, we need to make sure that we're looking at it from all different perspectives. So 1, rejection is always protection. So that's the first thing that we want to look at, is the reason why it didn't happen right now in the way that you wanted it to was because that wasn't in your highest good. And so It doesn't necessarily mean it's a complete no, like I said, but in the form that it's in right now, it is a no because it's not for your highest good. But what is the underlying? There's still something missing about this that we still need to pull into this message. And so I also got the angel numbers 217 and 422. And so angel number 217 is divine alignment through truth and trust. So know right now, whatever this thing is, it's not aligned perfectly with our next right timeline. So with 217, it says you followed your intuition with the number 2, you spoke your truth with 1, and now then the divine realm is orchestrating behind the scenes with 7. So even if you feel like the fool who risked it all and got silence in return, you were actually being initiated into the right path. Don't be fooled. The rejection was the redirection. The not for you is not yet or not like that. And then with angel number 422, it's sacred foundations, real love, and divine protection. So in this case, not for you doesn't mean never. It means until it's true, honest, and divinely aligned. You'll be protected from it. So it also confirms that if someone is meant for you, they'll come back in the right energy. If they're not, something far better will be built on this newly cleared foundation. 422 says you're not losing love, you're learning how to receive the real thing. And then when we put both of those together with the April Fool's energy, just don't be fooled by the silence. Don't mistake divine precision for abandonment. You've made the bold move. You've trusted your guidance. You've activated spiritual shifts. You've created a soul safe foundation and you've invited sacred partnership in. So the illusion is being removed. What's not for you is falling away, and what is for you is finding you on a higher path. So even if it's that same person or connection or whatever that you feel like that it's been cut off, you've been rejected from, this same energy may still show back up, but it's not going to be in the same way because it wasn't correct in the way that it was. All right. So moving forward with the reading, I've already pulled the cards and I used the Angel Guide Oracle first to kind of look into what we think is happening right now. And so we have the Courage and Bravery card. So when I pulled this card, I heard you did the hard thing, you stood in your truth, and you put your heart on the line. And so maybe it feels like, but it didn't land the way that you hoped it would. And maybe you're questioning, did you do the right thing by stepping out in bravery and in courage? So that's the thing, is like you did the thing that you felt like you needed to do, and you need to hold on to that it had more impact than what you may have first initially thought. And so I'm connecting this back with last week's reading where we were talking about communication from the heart leads to trust. And so like I feel like that there was some communications that took bravery for you to even have that, for you to step out in the way that you did, and yet it didn't land the way that you hoped it would. And so now then, you're questioning, did I do the right thing? Was it actually brave, or was that just stupid? Going back to that, April Fool's energy, was it just foolish to put myself out there like that because I got rejected? I didn't get the thing that I, so boldly went after. And so the next card is, well, what is actually happening? And so we have the honesty and communication. So Spirit is gently correcting us here. You did something powerful, even if you don't see the ripple effect yet. Your honest, heart-centered communication cut deeper than you know. Just because you didn't get the reply or it didn't land the way that you hoped it was, doesn't mean that it wasn't received. And just because someone didn't respond with open arms doesn't mean that the message didn't land in their soul. And so, I think that that's the thing, is like, as long as you followed, when you did this, when you stepped out in this bravery and courage and you spoke your truth, as long as you kept it grounded in that heart energy, as long as you were speaking from the heart, communicating from the heart, it landed better than what you think that it did. It just wasn't an immediate kind of like, because I felt that energy is almost like a heart surgery happening on the inside, just an internal kind of heart surgery, but it didn't happen just all at once. This is one of those things, especially if the situation was something that, the issue runs super deep, then like this communication needs time to really penetrate all the way down to the core of the other person's heart so that you can really get that soul to soul connection. And so just because you didn't get the immediate response that you had hoped for does not mean that your messages weren't received. Doesn't mean that your words aren't still doing work, even while you're not even, you know, any part of this anymore. Even if you have completely pulled yourself away, your words are still speaking and doing that active heart surgery into that other person's heart and soul. And it is making a difference. And so it's one, it did something for you. You got it out. You got to speak your truth. You got to stand fully in your power and own that this is where I am. This is what I want. And this is what my offer is. You stood in full alignment in that moment. And so even if that other person rejected it, you've called it in. You have made space and you have set the intention so strongly that now then it leaves space for it to actually show up to you in the way that it was meant to. So whether it's that person or another person, it's going to come to you in some way because you set the intention that strongly. And I feel like that, especially, because we're coming out of this energy of the eclipse on 3/29. So that was the solar eclipse, but it was also a new moon in Aries, which is where you're setting intentions too. So like that energy was kind of expanding over more than just that one day. And so all last week, any of the intentions you were setting, it was powerful. And so like I hope that you were being mindful and, like I said, coming from your heart, from every communication that you were coming through, every intention that you were setting, because you were setting destiny level intentions in those moments. And it was received. It did hit harder than what you know. And just think that, like, right now, you need to remember that the way that it was in that moment, and you even knew it, or else you wouldn't be having the conversation that you were having. It wasn't aligned. It wasn't ready for you. It wasn't the correct version that could move into the timeline that is destined for you. All right. So, um, why is this happening right now? So we have the Knight of Chalices, and I'm using the Biblical Tarot. And so my first impression is you showed up in love. You came with a fully open heart, full presence, and you made yourself emotionally visible. You just laid it all out on the line. So this card confirms the spiritual risk that you took. This was no surface level thing. You offered your whole heart. And so we are going to honor that. And not only do we honor that, God will honor that. And that's what I'm saying. You set your intentions so clearly that they are going to be heard, even if you haven't seen it physically show up for you yet. It will be heard. It will not return void. What you did will not return void as long as you came from the right place, in which this tells me you did. And so the next card is the best move forward, which is the soul. So this card is a reminder that your soul is already guiding your next steps. Even if the outer world feels uncertain, trust that you just aligned yourself with your highest path. Your true expression unlocks something. And so don't pull back. And so you see this. He let his full essence out. I'm not holding anything back anymore. I took that leap of faith. I said, this is what I want for my life. And I claimed it. And I made it just completely known to everyone. And that will be rewarded. This leap of faith will be rewarded. You will be caught. And it may not look in the version that you think it is, because we had, the overall energy, the not for you, on April Fool's Day. So, there's clear distortion somewhere, and it could be yours or it could be in, someone else. But what looks like it's not working out is actually working out for you. Even though that says not for you, something is working out for you. You trust it and you will be rewarded. And so the potential outcome for following this, we have the Page of Feathers, and this is Esther on here. And so, like, Esther when she saved the Jews, and like the words, you were made for such a time as this. This is holy ground. This speaks of the divine assignments. Esther's courage saved the people. And I'm hearing you were born for such a time as this. Salvation is coming. Restoration is coming. Your words were heard. Even if there's silence, the heavens are moving. And so this card is about messages. It was your messages. These aren't messages coming in. These are the ones that you put out. Your messages were heard. They made an impact. They made an impact. And then you were made for such a time as this. You were made to literally put those messages in that path. So no matter what happens, no matter where it goes from there, you did your part. You said the things that you were supposed to say. You set a ripple effect into motion. And I mean, it could have just open space for you, but it also set the ripple effect into that other person's life too. And so, like, whatever the outcome, you were the salvation. You were the restoration. You stood in your courage and in your truth, and it is going to be rewarded. And so what you don't see coming, we have the Six of Chalices, which is the Six of Cups. And so this is this past life reconnection. And so I've got, this is the Six of Cups is a beautiful energy of emotional restoration. And when I clarified it, we got the Two of Cups. And so with the Two of Cups, this becomes a super powerful soul union energy, a return, a recommitment, a renewal. And so, like, this is usually somebody coming back from the past, and it's a healing of the past. But this right here tells us the who's coming back. And it is a strong, high-level soulmate connection. And again, it could be the same connection that we've been talking about this whole time, the one that you did the communication with, but it's not in the same form as it was before the communication. This is coming back much more aligned and, ready. But even if it's not, this is another connection. This could be another connection that comes in that is the equal equivalent of what the thing was that you asked for. Either way, you get what you want, even if it's not the exact package that you were hoping it would be, and you're still getting what you want. And I got a timing card for this. We have 3 weeks from now, which is good news because that's coming after the retrogrades. And so it should move a little bit smoother. We're getting into April, and April is much more like, it is going to open up more. And then we get to May and it just feels a lot better. So once we get through these retrogrades, this is going to move much easier, especially if this was connected with any of the retrograde energy. And like, this would almost tell me that it is with the Six of Cups. That's just really looking at the past, dealing with the past. I mean, all of the past stuff coming up, to be looked at and re-inspected and to be healed. And so I do think that there is high possibility that this is someone that is already, it's already the person that we've been talking about. But for some of you, it really is going to be a completely new connection because that other person is just still not going to be ready. If that person is not ready, it just means that you're being protected. You're just being protected. And so your next aligned is going to come in. You don't have to worry. You are going to get what you want, even if it's in a different package than what you expected. And so our final message from Spirit, I pulled with the Enchanted Maps Oracle. And we have the come together. And look at this. I mean, it's just beautiful energy that's coming through. And so this is the two giraffes there are, it's two looking at it from a much higher perspective than they ever have before. And it's like they are kissing, right here, and they're holding up these hearts that just get bigger, as it grows. And so this is higher level love. It's new life and reunion energy. I'm actually going to read this card to us, and that's an 8 card as well. So let's see what this says. So love needs to be shared. Love needs to be expressed. Drawing the come together card is a sign that you're on the path to discover the nature of this emotion in all its forms of expression: romantic, familial, unconditional, spiritual. In each instance, there's another being involved. Love involves a give and take of between you and a significant other, a relative, a friend, an animal, and or spirit. This card assures you that love has come calling and seek a partner in its dance. So know that you are cherished like a magnet. You're attracting love into your life. This is the time for harmonious, caring partnerships. And so, like I said, if that's been what you've been manifesting in, we definitely have it coming. These two cards just tell us it is on the way and in as little as 3 weeks from now. So you did put yourself out there. You put your heart on the line and you are going to be rewarded one way or another, whether or not it's the one that you were hoping it would be, or if it's a completely new connection, you are going to be rewarded. You are not going to be left held, just empty handed here. All right. So, I wanted to end us out with an activation. And so if you will place your hand on your heart and say, I trust that my truth was heard. I believe in the power of divine timing. I release what is not meant for me, and I call in what aligns with my highest soul expression. I am open to reunion, healing, and love beyond what I imagined. And so it is. All right. So, in closing, as we close out, here are some thoughts that I want you to think about. So, where have you been holding on to something that spirit is trying to release from your hands? What if your honesty did more than you thought? And how can you stay in faith and softness while the divine plan unfolds? So, we're going to stay grounded this week. We're going to stay faithful to our truth, and we're not going to be fooled by silence. Your truth was heard, your love was felt, and what is meant for you is making its way home to you. So if this message has resonated with you, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to this channel. You can hit the bell for notifications and it will let you know every time we post new videos. Like I said, we offer daily videos. We've got a live that is going to be on Thursdays at 8 p.m. And then we've got some new content coming. So definitely subscribe, check out everything we have going on. And other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. And definitely let me know what connection you have to this reading and when this person shows up. I want to hear your celebration stories of you standing in your power and how it was rewarded for you. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.